What's up, Ferchero fam? I am super excited for tonight. This is the most excited I am for any night on the Las Vegas project. And obviously on this project, I'm working on my next album. And for that album, I'm encapsulating the ambience and vibe of the nightclubs, day clubs, and after hours clubs here in Vegas. For tonight, I'm going to On the Record, located at Park MGM. And in case you didn't know, basically the Monte Carlo, which used to exist on the Strip, doesn't exist anymore. Now it's Park MGM. And I have the description pulled up here because this is a really unique venue that I'm going to tonight. Never been there, and I'm super excited. So I'm going to read the description. Unexpected discoveries and songs that stop you in your tracks. The joy of hanging out in a record store is the inspiration for Park MGM's new Speakeasy and Club experience. On the Record is a love letter to long-lost music hubs and an exciting new way to spend your nights in Vegas. Los Angeles twins Jonnie and Mark Houston excel in creating original nightlife experiences, and On the Record, their first venue in Las Vegas, is no exception. The new club is hidden behind a record store entrance off the main casino floor. Inside, 3 rooms featuring both indoor and outdoor spaces provide ample space for dancing or relax with friends and exploring On the Record's world-class cocktail program. So what I'm really excited to see how this kind of is for tonight, what I'm really excited is that I feel like for most venues in Vegas, they're just usually crazy, raging parties, right? Whether it's a day party at a pool or a nightclub, which obviously don't get me wrong, I love that. Obviously, me being a DJ, I love that scene. But I also love jazz, and I love that kind of vintage like feel of going into a jazz club like in New Orleans or something like that. And that's what it seems like On the Record's gonna be. I honestly have no idea what to expect, but looking at this description, the reviews of it are really good so far. So it seems like that this is going to be kind of a cool thing that is not typically something you see in Vegas. Honestly, who knows? I'm going to be going there tonight, but this one, hands down, I'm the most excited to check out. So I had an amazing time last night. On the Record, 100% lived up to all the hype. I mean, if anything, it exceeded my expectations of what this is going to be like, and I am so happy I went. Now, when it comes to On the Record, there are a couple of different things about it that are super unique and interesting, and in general, I am so happy that a club like this exists on the Strip. Now, first off, when you walk in, it's something a lot smaller than I expected. In terms of the layout, there's a bunch of different rooms, which I'll get to, because this is really weird, but interesting. But a bunch of different rooms, and as opposed to a nightclub, we usually walk in, and there's this giant room with lights and lasers. On the Record is more of this small 1920s style vintage jazz club. And what was really amazing is when most clubs, in terms of their production, have more lights, more lasers, more expensive pyrotechnics and everything, On the Record had extremely high production value, but in small little details. So there was one wall with hundreds of cassettes. There was another wall with broken old school style TVs. Another wall of all different records. They had all these little things around the club that you could really spend, a few hours there looking at all these extreme detailed things they put in just to the entire production of it. I can't imagine how long it must have taken to make this. I mean, I honestly have no idea, and so it was amazing seeing the kind of production value. The next thing I'll say, which is really interesting, and you saw in some of the footage, there are two rooms inside the speakeasy. So obviously On the Record is considered a speakeasy, which obviously like a hidden club or bar. And when you get in, you obviously have a couple different rooms. So you have the main room, which is a bar. You kind of walk down, you have this kind of outdoor area, so that's patio with this like old school bus with some guy DJing. Then you have this like old school telephone booth that you can walk into. So the club's kind of like a square almost with different sections. Now, across from the bathroom, and a girl told me this, I didn't believe her, but she was right, there's one section with all the cassettes, like hundreds of cassettes, and she told me to just push against the wall like this, and eventually I'll find a hidden door. And I've been to speakeasies where, yeah, it's hidden, but you kind of know it's there, right? And I was like, all right, I'll probably see like the outline of the door, something like that. No, I was like pushing against it, and I'm like, all right, is this girl making this up? Like, she's probably just pranking me, whatever. Next time when I push it, the door opens, and you literally had no idea the door was there unless someone told you about it. And they go to this bar inside the speakeasy that had all these super expensive drinks, all these amazing, cocktails and everything. And I was like, where did I even just walk into, right? So then when I left that, came back out, there's a second entrance. So if you kind of go to the main bar area and your back is turned, you see a bunch of different tables, right? You can obviously buy tables here like any other club. And then there were different jukeboxes kind of recessed back. They were just against the wall like this. And if you pushed open one of the jukeboxes, you'd go into this mini karaoke room. And there were, I think, 2 or 3 different mini karaoke rooms at the speakeasy. And the crazy thing is, you would have no idea they were there unless someone told you about them beforehand or kind of like gave you a little insider tip. So it was really cool that they added all this kind of stuff in. Now, when it comes to what song and the genre and the style I'm going to produce for On the Record, I've been going back and forth about this because 100% it has to have a jazz feel to it. But in addition, I actually got a deep such tech house vibe as well, actually, On the Record, given like the ambiance, especially with the DJing that kind of bus setup on the outdoor patio. So I feel like that the track I'm going to produce, and obviously, like I said, I have no idea how these songs are going to come out for each venue I go to until I actually sit down and make it. But I feel like it's going to come out as maybe a house elements, definitely going to be a jazz record or a future funk style record with some light housey elements, right? So I'm thinking like some very light, upbeat, jazzy, funky, soulful music that's very danceable but doesn't have this build and drop style rhythm. I feel it's kind of be like an old school jazz elements in it along with a new school house vibe.